Yo, what is going on, guys? Got an absolutely ridiculous video for you here today from the wall of a modern woman who decided to get married to her boyfriend of 6 years only to divorce him 2 weeks later. Now, you might be asking yourself, Taylor, that sounds incredibly stupid. Why did she do that? And you know what? It is incredibly stupid, and we will get to that reason later on today's episode. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I believe the woman who decided to divorce her husband after only 2 weeks is not this clip, but it is the next one. We're going to be taking a listen. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's jump in.
If you just recently started dating a guy, he invites you for a trip, but you're not sure if he's gonna pay for it or you're supposed to, like you're just getting confused with the finances because you're so new, this is what you should say to make sure that he covers the cost. Oh my god, I'm so excited for a trip. Please let me know what info you need from me when you're gonna do the booking. Let me know if it helps.
All right, let's get started.
I will ask then. I will just ask, what is going on here?
So I was with a guy. We were together for 6 years, but we were only married for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
It's kind of
then it
Hookup of a marriage, okay.
blew up everything. Everything.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
But you were together for 6 years.
You can already tell, guys, that this woman is annoying as hell. I mean, look at this. Look at the body language, right? She thinks that it's funny. She thinks that it's some form of joke. And you would think, right, by looking at this woman's body language and how confidently arrogant she is, that it was the guy's fault. But we're going to find out in a moment that, in fact, it wasn't the guy's fault. And you know what? Statistically speaking, it usually damn well isn't. But just take a look at this individual's body language. Complete psycho behavior. So she was with this dude for 6 years, decides to divorce him after only 2 weeks. This might be a modern woman PR, guys. Maybe a personal record here.
Everything.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
But you were together for 6 years.
So annoying, man.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
why did we divorce after 2 weeks? Did
So
you keep laughing in the middle of the night?
no.
Okay.
Enjoyed my life. My laugh.
No,
Thank you very
I'm
much.
poking at you.
So right before we got married, I came out as bi, and then
Okay.
we decided to continue with the wedding. I really wanted a girlfriend, and he was,
Oh,
I know, he was iffy about that. And
Right. So their marriage ended because it sounds like he was not comfortable with her, deciding that she randomly wanted to have a girlfriend. So shortly before the marriage, she came out and she said, "Hey, listen, I'm attracted to women." The dude probably said, "Okay, right." And then she starts talking about wanting to have a girlfriend. Now, I don't buy the whole timing of this nonsense, guys. I really think that she probably cheated with a girl or probably pulled this kind of stunt just after they got married. And so the dude decided to divorce her after that, because it doesn't make sense to get a divorce only 2 weeks after. But yeah, maybe she probably initiated the divorce because he wasn't comfortable with her having a girlfriend, and she just wanted that status symbol. Right? She wanted to be able to tick that box and say, "Hey, listen, I got married, even though it was only for 2 weeks. But now I'm going to go out there and chase women." It's completely ridiculous, guys. And they wonder why dudes don't want to get married to them. But she decided that she wanted to have a girlfriend. 2 weeks is all it lasted. Let's continue.
friend, and he was,
oh,
I know, he was iffy about that. And then I decided that women probably weren't enough because our life was really horrible.
why were you getting married?
I-
You knew you wanted to have a girlfriend. He wasn't a girlfriend,
Yeah,
and
I
this life wasn't there, which a lot of people find to be very important,
I
me
know.
included. Like, it's normal.
Yeah.
So why did we go through with the marriage if it ended in 2 weeks?
Because I knew I always wanted to be with him, like, for the rest of my life.
How is this for modern women logic, by the way? He asks the question, "Why is it that you divorced your husband after only 2 weeks?" And her answer starts with, "Oh, well, I wanted to be with him forever. You know, she wanted to be with this guy till death do us part. How does that make any sense, guys? Oh yeah, the reason why I divorced him, or the reason why this marriage ended, was because I wanted to be with him forever. Like, did these people not hear themselves when they say this sort of nonsense? It makes no sense, guys. Crazy.
In 2 weeks.
Because I knew I always wanted to be with him, like, for the rest of my life. I just didn't
How'd
know.
that turn
I
out?
just obviously not well.
Goodness, man. Goodness.
Simple. She wanted his money. Here we have a man who was the classic useful fool. She claims she discovered she was bisexual, but I'm sure she never mentioned it before getting married. Like many modern women, she only wanted the title of wife in the big wedding.
Yeah, the old bait and switch, right? Don't show them that you're a psycho or that you have things about yourself that the dude might not like until after you've been with the guy for a very long amount of time, and then you try and take him for his money and resources. The absolute classic.
Nothing more. Now, I'd like a woman to answer this. Is this fair? The average wedding in the US costs between $24,000 and $34,000. Money this guy probably paid out of his own pocket. After the marriage, she had access to all his assets and bank accounts, and even though they divorced after just 2 weeks, she was entitled to half. How is that fair? They were together for 6 years. She had plenty of time to end it before, but she didn't. She waited until they got married to make sure the money was safe in her bank account. Stories like this are the reason more and more men are walking away from marriage.
I mean, I really hope that she wasn't able to get anything from this guy. I wouldn't even count this as a marriage, to be honest. You know, it's a very sad day indeed if this woman was actually able to walk away with his resources. But it just goes to show you, a lot of people think that this is some kind of a joke when dudes say that they don't want to get married because a lot of women are doing it simply to try and extract resources from the guy. But it's absolutely true, man. So many women, they treat marriage as though it's a retirement plan. Not because they love the guy, not because they care about him, but because, number one, they want the status symbol to say that they are married or they've been married. And number two, to be able to take his resources, emphasis on his resources, when she decides to leave. And a lot of people ask, well, you know, can't the man just take the woman's resources? No. And you know why the men can't typically do that? Is because dudes are not out here marrying women, usually, who make more money than them, right? And moreover, women are not marrying dudes who earn less money than them. Men don't really care how much money women earn, but when women go out here and get married, you can be damn sure that in the majority of cases, they are specifically dating and marrying the men who earn more money than them so that they can try and do these sorts of things to them. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, when was the last time, I'm not saying that this hasn't happened, but when was the last time you saw a woman try and marry a McDonald's worker? It just doesn't happen, man. Yes, there's going to be some rare cases, and if that works out for those people, I'm happy for them. But women are marrying for the resources. Let's not get it twisted here.
The system is designed to reward marital fraud. She faces no consequences for using the relationship as a personal investment. Bro, with this reality, it's no surprise that fewer and fewer men are willing to play this game.
Bro.
Hurry.
So I think this guy mutes the audio here for whatever reason, so I'm just going to talk over it for a second. This guy, I think he made some sort of a joke or something, or he made a statement. And then as you can see right now on the screen, the woman has started to, you know, she's crying, she's pulling the whole, oh, that was a really rude thing to say kind of thing. And this dude's like, what the hell? Sorry about that. I didn't mean anything. This guy is trying to keep it nice and cordial. He probably thinks that this woman is a complete idiot, by the way, but he has to be nice so that she continues to stay on the episode and give him content. But now she's, you know, she's crying and stuff, and she had to take a moment to leave the set. Look at this. I'm going to pause it right there. Look, she's got red around the eyes, guys. She's not happy. It's like, I don't know, this dude must have made some sort of comment that rubbed her the wrong way. But of course, what this really is professional victim behavior right here.
It's not mine. I swear.
Look at that.
Dude, it's okay.
Insane, man.
It's okay. Is it, bro?
What a complete psycho, by the way. they're
I'm
sitting back down.
sorry. I honestly
You know,
didn't
she's
think it
still
would hurt you
huffing
this
and
much.
puffing.
What do you mean, bro? Fucking 3 years
I don't know what this audio that this guy has put on over the back, but as you can see, guys, she's going through a real hard time.
Crocodile tears activated. The classic move of playing the victim to gain sympathy. Any man with common sense would see a red flag with this woman. This isn't just a simple, I made a mistake, and that's it. This man spent 6 years with her, and during all that time, she never thought about anyone but herself. Her plan was clear. Get married to secure her consolation bonus. She knew that marriage would give her access to this man's assets. This isn't a coincidence. Many modern women see marriage as a business deal, not a union. That's why athletes are advised to protect themselves from gold diggers. Don't get them pregnant and don't get married without a prenuptial agreement.
I'm going to pause it here again, guys. I feel the need to always pause it whenever I hear this whole like prenup thing. I wouldn't even recommend getting married even if you have a prenup. They can be thrown out of court, and women do fight to have them thrown out of court all of the damn time. I wouldn't say it's a sufficient 100% protection. So a lot of guys are like, well, you know what? I'll get married. Everything's going to be fine. I'll just get a prenup. No, these things can and will be thrown out of court. Not every single time, but oftentimes they are not upheld and they are thrown out of court. So, you know, I can't advise, hey, listen, just go out there and get married. Everything's going to be fine. Just get a prenup, man. It's not going to be like that for a lot of dudes. A lot of guys are still going to get screwed over. So I think, you know, people need to be very careful when they advise men and say, well, you know, marriage is all right, just get a prenup, because really it still isn't. It's absolutely a scam. You can still get screwed over, and it is by no means an 100% protection of your assets or your resources.
And here we have a clear example of that. This guy went from celebrating a wedding to filing for divorce in just 2 weeks. The worst part is seeing her laughing in the first videos. But as soon as the criticism starts rolling in, the crocodile tears appear. She switches from laughter to sadness in seconds.
Yeah, how psycho is this, by the way? So at the start of it, this dude is absolutely right, man. At the start of the video, what's she doing? She's sitting there, she's laughing, she's having a great time. I don't know why the hell she's laughing. You would think, again, guys, by the fact that she's laughing at the beginning, you would kind of think that she is somehow the one being wronged in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like the way she's trying to portray it in the beginning with the laughing and stuff like this. And then again, a slight bit of criticism comes out, it seems, and of course she starts crying. Now, this whole situation is entirely her fault, by the way. 6 years deep into a relationship, I think she probably waited until just after getting married to pull this crap. I don't think she would have said it before, despite what she may have said there. She probably brought it up right after the fact. But yeah, 6 years of a relationship, 2 weeks deep into the marriage, and she decides to pull this nonsense, and yet she'd have you believe that she's the victim. Absolutely crazy.
All to change the narrative. Bro, protect your assets, because this system isn't set up for you to win.
I made 2 crucial mistakes after my first divorce, which led to my second divorce. Mistake number 1, I took 0 time to heal, to rebuild my self-esteem, figure out what I wanted, reflect on the relationship and the role that I played so that I can figure out what I don't want to do in a new relationship moving forward.
Oh my goodness. So let's pause it here. This is story number 2 of the video. Okay, I don't know if this woman is now a divorce coach or something like that. But yeah, this woman married and divorced twice, okay? And her line of reasoning here as to why things went bad, particularly in the second divorce, was because she didn't get clear on what she wanted and what she was prepared to do in the relationship, it seems. Isn't that crazy, guys? Like, it's like women go through marriages, they go through relationship after relationship, and then their conclusion after the end of those relationships and at the end of those divorces is, hey, I need to get more clear on what I want. Isn't that insane? You contrast that to like men's dating advice or divorce advice, and you know what it is? It's, hey man, go to the gym, stop being lazy, lose some weight. Or, hey man, go out there, make some more money, or improve your life, or improve yourself, right? That's the advice that men are given. Go out there, improve yourself in any very real capability, whether that be fitness, whether that be making money, mentally, and so on. Women's dating and divorce advice is literally opposite. It's like, hey, don't worry, don't change anything about yourself. You just need to get more clear on what you expect from men. Isn't that insane to think about, guys? There's no accountability. There's no self-reflection in the sense of like, oh, could I have made this work? Or could I have done anything better? Or was the man happy with me? You know, any of those sorts of points of self-reflection. It's always, how can I do less but get more out of the man? Goodness me, man. And they wonder why they're divorced.
And instead, I made mistake number 2, which was hopped right back in the fucking dating world and started dating somebody way too soon. Because I didn't.
Yeah, of course you did, because you already had that guy lined up. Like, guys, I'm so sick of lying about this in these clips, man. These women, they're not leaving their long-term husbands and boyfriends and things like this without a backup. They leave because they think that they have that next guy ready to go, and then it doesn't work out, and then they cry and complain and make these videos. But let's let her talk some more, and I won't interrupt for a little bit now.
In a new relationship moving forward. And instead, I made mistake number 2, which was hopped right back in the fucking dating world and started dating somebody way too soon. Because I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. I had no standards. I didn't know my deal breakers. So I settled in a relationship, which didn't fucking work out. I'm telling you, working on yourself after a breakup or a divorce, like, that has to be your number 1 priority. If you're not doing that, you're going to keep finding yourself in the same relationships with the same type of people, and you're going to keep getting divorced and keep breaking up. Ain't nobody got time for that. Who wants to fucking do that? Heal your shit. Know your worth. Have high standards. Be super fucking picky. Know what your deal breakers are. And stop settling. Take the...
Yeah, guys, don't settle. Get super clear on what you want. Do your healing. I love how in this video, by the way, guys, it's like women just magically end up in another dude's bed. And they're like, wow, you know, that was a complete accident. I obviously wasn't healed. I need to do some more healing. It's almost like their version of healing is going out there and hooking up with a bunch of dudes. And then they use that as like justification, you know? So they go out there, they hook up with a bunch of different men. And then they're like, wow, you know, I'm enlightened now. I'm ready for that good man. It's completely stupid, because what ends up happening is the dudes who are actually good men and who would be interested in having a loving and long-lasting committed relationship with these women will not want to date these women. They will look at you and go, I can't date that. Her track record is complete garbage, right? Women want to tell dudes, hey, don't worry, it's totally fine. You can date me. So what? I've been with 50 different dudes. But your track record, especially as a woman, is very important to men. And I always hear this the opposite way around too. Women will say, oh, doesn't a man's track record absolutely matter? And to that, I would say, if you want it to matter, you can make it matter. But women never do, guys. When was the last time you saw a woman turn a man down because he had too much dating experience? It doesn't happen, man. Like, if anything, they treat it the complete opposite. They treat him like he's more desirable. So to that, I would say, hey, you can make that decision if you want to, but the women never do. But men will absolutely make that decision. They will say, listen, you've been with 50 dudes, I don't want you. Women, on the other hand, guys, they will say that, they'll joke about it. Oh, isn't it the same for men? But they will never hold men to that same standard. They just go out there and they chase the dudes who have a lot of experience. And that's what they like to do, guys. I can't stop them. It's their own decision to make, but it's very damn funny. Let's keep going.
The time to like really learn how to stand on your own 2 feet and not feel like you need a relationship in order to feel happy.
Oh, hell no!
Studies confirm it. 50% of first marriages end in divorce, and for second marriages, the rate goes up to 60% or 67%.
Wow, what an absolute shocker there. I'm surprised it's not higher for both of them, to be honest. I've heard maybe some slightly higher statistics than that. But yeah, of course, right? Because the women who go out there and get married and they get divorced are the same psychos that'll do it again.
That idea that the grass is greener on the other side is pure fiction. Most people have already found their ideal partner but didn't value them. They prefer to let them go because, nowadays, women have too many options and there will always be another man willing to step in. The problem is clear. They want to live in the honeymoon phase forever. When the relationship matures and real problems arise, many prefer to jump ship instead of facing them. It's no coincidence that 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Responsibility is kryptonite for them. They don't want to take it on. They prefer the easy way out and move on to the next man. And that's how the cycle begins. Moving from relationship to relationship, searching for what they already had but didn't know how to appreciate. Responsibility is kryptonite for women.
This is such an interesting time of year. If you are getting divorced or you've recently divorced, the holidays just bring up a lot of reminders that your life is different and your life is changing. And when it comes to changing, because I work with women every day on putting their lives back together after divorce and a really
Holy hell, guys. We are like, what are we, 30 seconds into this video clip? I don't know. And she has said exactly nothing. So let's cut to the chase here, guys. I'm assuming this is a divorced woman who has become a divorce coach for women. She's now a relationship coach of some kind. Now, you would think that this would immediately disqualify you to be such a thing, but not in the eyes of these women, guys. Now they're more experienced, right? They know what they're doing. But I would argue, you know, perhaps not.
beautiful way. It's interesting that a lot of people want the change, but they don't want to change. They don't want to fix their mindset. They don't want to look at life a different way. They aren't ready to move on from the past. And I get it. I totally get it. I was there 10 years ago and I was like, why can't things just go back to how they were? And why can't I just feel comfortable in some areas in my life? But the truth is if you're going through this or just recently went through it, you have to realize like things are different. Like your life is different. And if
Holy hell, guys. How do people watch these divorced dating coaches? Like, I swear this woman has said nothing. What are we, like 40 seconds, 45, 50 seconds into this clip now? I don't know. And this woman hasn't said a single thing. So what, if you're going through a divorce, things are changing for you. Have I got that message down right here, guys? I don't know. At a certain point, I just kind of zone out, and I don't even know what the hell she's trying to say here. Just cut to the part where you're trying to sell us a $500 course, madam. Like, let's just cut this thing short.
if you want to feel different and have a different outcome in this life, you've got to start looking at things different and maybe doing some things different. You just have to remind yourself that a new way or a new perspective can open a lot of different doors. And I think that's just a good reminder as we're moving into the thick of the holidays that just because things look different doesn't mean that they're bad. If you need help with adjusting your perspective or seeing things different or trying new things, just let me know. I'm here for you. And as always, I'm in your corner and I'm cheering you on.
This is the kind of message that drives more women to divorce. They're sold the fantasy that after divorcing, everything will be sunshine and rainbows, as if life magically transforms. But reality is different. If you're 20 and you want to experience life, that's understandable. It's part of youth. But once you hit 25, you're no longer a young girl. You're stepping into maturity. And if you reach 30, you're facing the wall. Continuing to experiment at this age only leaves you with less time and fewer real options.
And you know what, guys? I encourage the women to go out here and do this. You know, you want to listen to these dating coaches, specifically these divorce dating coaches and things like this. I mean, hey, go out there, enjoy yourself, but I'm not going to be the one looking after you when you have 37 different cats that don't give a damn about you guys. I think it's just absolutely hilarious, man. And I'll agree with this dude here, right? These people, they behave like children up until they're well into their 30s, sometimes even their 40s, and sometimes even beyond that, man. Like, they don't actually mature. They don't actually have their life sorted out. They're still trying to hunt for dudes when they're like 35 years of age. And again, women have such high amounts of leverage in the dating world that if you're a woman and you're like 35 years of age and you're still single, the question really does become, why the hell are you still single? Because these women could have boyfriends since the age of 18, man. They could go out there, they can get married at 21 if they wanted to. But they don't want to do that, right? They want to go out there, they want to have fun most of the time, see a bunch of different dudes, and then get clear on what they want when they go into their 30s. And then they wonder why the dudes don't want them, man. You know, again, it's a complete and utter scam for men to actually have relationships with these women, because they will absolutely divorce you and they will try and take you for your money. And just by the way, right, a lot of the women who are incredibly, I've seen a lot of clips like this, right, where women go out there and get divorced. And sometimes they are unable to get the money from the man and their life looks completely terrible. You know, like whether the dude, he had an effective prenup or something like this, or, you know, he did something correct, or she wasn't able to claim his money for whatever reason. These women absolutely ruin their lives if they miss, because now they're kicked out of the house. Now they have to pay their own bills. Now they're like 40 and they're trying to, or in their 30s, and they have to go rejoin the workforce, and they didn't want to do that. And of course, it's the men's fault, as always, you know. But yeah, sometimes the women are unable to get money and they just completely ruin their lives.
The proof is in her own words. Why can't I feel at ease in some aspects of my life? The answer is obvious. You're not 20 anymore. Youth fades, responsibilities grow, the biological clock ticks, and if you've already been through a divorce, you need to get your life on track. You can't keep living off experiences that are only paid for with your presence. Now, you have to step into the role of an adult, because the wall doesn't forgive. But, as always, misery loves company. Women like this try to sell you the idea that your life will be beautiful after divorce, but they don't tell you what happens next. Loneliness, new debts, and the realization that you're no longer at your peak to start from scratch. You're at the wall, and brothers, the wall does not forgive.
I'm talking about the top 10 reasons for divorce. Today is number 9. This one's going to be a hot topic, but it is one of the top 10 reasons for divorce. So number 9 is one person in the relationship is not carrying their weight. Okay, so what I hear a lot for the women that come to me who are considering divorce is this. I'm doing everything. If I don't do it, it won't get done. I've asked and I've asked for him to carry the weight in this relationship, like 50-50. Can we be partners? We both work full time, but why am I coming home and doing my second full-time job while he sits on the couch and watches TV? Why is it up to me to book the kids' dentist appointments and doctor's appointments and know the schedule? Why is it up to me to plan everything? Why won't he contribute? And as much as you've asked, it's not happening.
You know what I think, guys? A few things to mention here. I think that oftentimes the dude is actually the breadwinner in these situations, and what's happening is you have the women who are being dishonest about this, and despite the fact that the dude is paying the bills, he's got a more difficult job, or he's earning the majority of the money, she still wants him to go out and do those jobs, right? So she wants to have him pay, usually, 100% of the bills, but then she also wants to go 50-50 with the remainder of the stuff. That's usually what happens, okay? You will have women say, well, I go out there and I work and I do this and the man works as well, but usually it's not completely honest. Usually the guy is either actually the only one working, or she works but not nearly as long, or doesn't provide nearly as much as the man does. And then she complains about the lack of housework being done from the dude. I've literally seen video clips where women will record their husband trying to sleep after he has had a long day at work, and then she's sitting there complaining on TikTok because he's not doing the housework. It's like, of course he's not doing the housework. He's trying to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I think it's dishonest by a lot of these modern women who are making these videos. And also, I think they completely overblow the problems in the household, guys. Like, I have literally seen situations where women will claim that they're doing all of the emotional labor in the relationship because they are the ones keeping note of when the toothpaste runs out and they have to go and get it because the man doesn't realize. You know, women are quite literally looking to get divorces over this stuff, guys, because apparently men aren't managing the toothpastes well enough, or we're not going out there and getting the dentist appointments. Like, get the hell out of here, man. It's ridiculous. You're insane.
And hey, this might go both ways, but I'm talking about women, and one big reason why women are initiating 70 to 80% of all divorces is this one. This should be higher up on the list, in my opinion. And also what I hear a lot is, I'm doing everything anyways.
You know what I've heard? I've actually heard something interesting here from a lot of guys who have gotten divorced, where, you know, they get divorced, and afterwards they have to do, let's just say they were paying 100% of the bills beforehand, they now have to do the housework, and it's really not as difficult as a lot of the women are liking to claim out here. You know, it's like the dude's in a marriage, he's getting nagged day in, day out. The marriage finally ends, and he has to do these sorts of things by himself, right? So he has to pay like typically 100% of the bills, obviously, now that the divorce has gone through. And he just does the housework totally fine, and it's no big issue. I've certainly heard, I've heard a lot of cases, guys, where dudes get divorced and their life gets easier. So riddle me that.
If I get divorced, I just have one less person to take care of. And then when they do get divorced and maybe they're single moms with kids or living alone, they're like, life is so much easier.
That's not what I've seen from modern women, actually. I've seen the complete opposite. I have seen a lot of situations, guys, even over here on TikTok, on this platform, of women getting divorces, leaving their husbands and boyfriends, and then complaining because now they're a single mother and nobody wants to date them, or because now they're struggling because they have to pay their own bills. I actually see the complete opposite from a lot of divorced women. Now, granted, some women can get their husband's money and things like this, and usually those are like the single mothers, but then they have the problem of no man wanting to date them. They think that it's all sunshine and rainbows, and then they go and ruin their lives.
I'm still doing the same amount of work, but there's just less stress. It's easier, and I'm not resentful for this person who isn't being a team player. So this is a huge one. Let me know what you think. Has this been a reason that factored into your divorce, or is it something that is making you consider, I might have an easier life with one less person to take care of?
Hey, how about this? Men will start doing 50% of the housework and 50% of these little chores if you start paying 50% of the bills. But that's not usually what happens, guys, is it? The dude is usually paying the majority, if not all, of the bills, and then the woman is sitting there trying to get the dude to do a lot of the housework and things like this. Like, get the hell out of here, man. These women talk all about 50-50, 50-50, but the man's roles are just coincidentally always unnegotiable, you know? But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.